Meeting people today is based on feelings, options, and convenience. Marriages are built on purpose, alignment, and commitment. So the real question is, are you choosing love or are you just choosing what feels good right now and why things keep messing up? This piece of the puzzle, be right back. Time. You can't press rewind. What's up, y'all? Piece of the puzzle here. Share, like, love, laugh. We're going to continue breaking down words and breaking down how things work out and process. This is the Master Architect here, and I'm here to break things down to build up for clarity so you can make better choices. I know we touch here, we look, and guess what? Everything is a message, right? So the way you think and how you move is based upon the messages you have taken in and you have made them yours. Well, let's see how you can also send messages back to the sender and what message to take so you can be a better person in today's age. Okay, we've been talking about dating. Dating is not Bible. Watch the video before this because dating is not something you should even do. But courting is something I want to introduce, and I want to also compare it to biblical on how things are done, where we can't do things the way the Bible did it because how society is. Courting is the next best thing closest to biblical marriage. Okay, let's look at a few people that's in the Old Testament and how they got married and how they met. But first, I want to go ahead and look in the Bible where they're dating in the Bible. What really happened in the Bible? Well, let's go ahead and see something. In Genesis 24, Abraham told his servant, hey, go back to my family and you find a wife for my son. When he went back there was some conversation being had. She was brought back. And guess what? They met and then they got married. As a matter of fact, you should make somebody that's emotionally healed. What? Is that what you do? Should you only meet seeing somebody at the 100%? Or does it matter? It does. And she met Isaac when he was in a very sad moment because his mother passed away. But you also have Isaac's son, Jacob. How did he meet his wife? He met his wife because after he did some dirty dealings, getting his older brother's birthright and a blessing, and he ran. He met his wife at a situation where he got tricked into having two wives. And at the end of the day, again, he met her, but there was no dating. You should meet somebody that already know their purpose and already where they're supposed to be. Is that really? Then Sarah must be real dumb because she was already married to Abraham and his ultimate purpose for his life was years after they was already married. And then you have Joseph. Joseph met his wife already after his purpose was established. He was in power. He was moving and grooving. And matter of fact, the Pharaoh said, we got to get you a wife. Matter of fact, he was in a position where another woman wanted him that was married to another man. And he got put in jail. All the ups and downs of a man that was single. Joseph was single for 13 years before he met his wife. And she was a child and she was the daughter of a priest. Then you have Noah. Noah was chilling with his family. And then he ended up building an ark, changing his whole family dynamic. Matter of fact, you should meet a man or a woman in their purpose. And Noah had a wife for a very long time, had 3 sons, they was married, and he had his purpose after his generation was already there to pass on his inheritance. So my thing, what's going on here? Peter was already married before he encountered Jesus Christ. And he had a business as being a fisherman. And he done turned his whole life situation in a whole nother direction in the middle of him already being married. We go on and on and on and on and on. Meaning, you want to meet who you meet when you meet them. And is it going according to principle? Well, in every case that we saw, someone helped meet the person they was with. See, everybody that was with each other was presented to them in such a way. But it's not about that. It's about you having a community. Because this is the catch. After all the people that they was choosing to be with, they was choosing them from a family or from a type of system where it was going to be a good woman. Esau, which is Isaac's older son that he loved the most, he had 2 wives that were driving Isaac and Esau's mother, Rebecca, crazy because of who he married. And they did not like the woman that was from that place. So a lot of times, if you go to a particular place, you can find a good woman. Yep. And I'm going to give you multiple reasons why courting, betrothing back then helps a woman get a good man. Number one, he was raised by his father. There was a man that taught his son how to walk in authority, how to respect authority, how to honor, how to walk with respect. And he had an example. Betrothing, courting requires for a woman to see a man's consistency. Show up constantly, to keep his word. Betrothing, courting removes physical distraction, meaning sex. Sex cloud your judgment. You think because how you feel sexually, what you're going through, you believe, oh my God, he makes me feel great, so he must be great. Negative. That's a distraction. It lets you see how he thinks. Without the little man downstairs, you can see the bigger man upstairs. How he thinks, how he communicates, him being patient. When you're courting a man, being courted by a man, you also involves a community. It also involves how he shows up around other people that love you, respect you. Other people see things that you can't see. A man who does not want to be accountable for, he's hiding something. A man that wants to be accountable for is a man that's not hiding it. As a matter of fact, that man wants you to see more of him. A good man is comfortable being examined and seen. It reveals intent, not just interest. See, that dating thing is based upon how you feel. That was fun. Vibes, they call it. But courting requires intention. It's built on purpose. A man is clear about where he's going at. He's going to let you know early what he is intending. It gives direction. You can see where something is going. A good man just don't want a woman. He want to prepare a place for her to thrive. And you're going to see how he does that with you in the courting stage. And it kills time wasters. You see patterns clearer. You not distracted. You see things sooner, and you get to make a decision if this is something that who you want to be with. And you can walk away with no shame. You can walk away knowing you ain't give nothing up. You can walk away knowing you still have your value. You can walk away of him saying nothing crazy about you other than he smashed. But you can walk away knowing that the one thing you want to give your future husband, you're not giving away out here like candy. So bottom line, courting and betrothing, it don't help you to see a better man. It also helps create a better man. Because if he's after one thing, you're going to see impatience. You're going to see other things that surface because of other alternative motives. Now, today is different. What society, I'm going to explain it later, how broken up it is. We can't betroth like we used to back then because society is different. And you could have a dude that has a dad. That doesn't mean that's going to be a good dude just because he have a good father. That dude could still be influenced by society. He could be on social media so much. He could listen to some music, depending on who he is, because parents are busy. So homes are broken up. So he might have a father that's not always around in the home. He might have saw him on the weekends. He might have just got back in his life. You get what I'm saying? So just because he does have a father, it all depends on how much the society has influence on him too. I have seen plenty of good men come from single mothers. You get what I'm saying? Not because the single mother, because there was some male heavy influence in his life. Uncles, maybe the teacher, stuff like that. So just because oh my God, he had a father, you don't know his background. Where else he gets male influences from? You'd be surprised. I'm about to say something crazy, but it is what it is. You'd be surprised a lot of kids learned a lot just by watching the Cosby Show. You don't know where someone got their information from to do what they do. So today, you can't really betroth unless you have a strong family group from both ends. But courting gives you there clearer because it takes time so you can see who you are dealing with because you're going towards being together. And people today, men today, they're learning how to get girls by acting like. For instance, you can have a dude that I call this the modern day simp. The modern day simp is him going to YouTube or other people learning how to get girls by doing certain things. For instance, so you get with a woman, don't call her for another day or 2 or 3 days, this and third, whatever, because a woman don't want you to call them so fast because like you ain't got no life, whatever the case may be. It's not all the time, but Here I'm about to go to. The reason why, because when it hits or when they start talking again, it builds up a space to anticipation of excitement, right? The only difference is when you go to the guy that's just acting like he had nothing to do, knowing he wanted to call you them 2-3 days, and a guy that actually called you back 2-3 days is the fake guy. He's learning to wait to act like he got a life, and then when he approaches you, he gets your excitement of hearing from him again, but he has nothing to say. What was he doing last 2 days? Nothing at all. But the real genuine guy that didn't call you in 2 or 3 days is because he really had something going on, a project, a job, a business, maybe taking care of situations. And the thing is, when you do ask these two different guys, what happened? One has a story, another one has something that doesn't feel as like, okay, you can tell. So there's a lot of strategies. Guys today are learning from these predator men how to get you with strategies, not with real strength. So how you determine the two? Well, you're going to come back another day for my video that I'm going to do. And I'm going to call it the modern day simp. Watch out for them. All right. But what makes it hard today is there is everybody's ups and downs. Everybody doing what they want to do. You might find a woman, she got a mother and father. Not today. I seen a young girl have an OnlyFans, and her father and her mother that's still together is congratulating her. The father is like, good job. I had seen I met someone that actually was told by her father while she was married, if you're not getting it from home, if he's not giving it to you, he told his daughter, then you need to go ahead and do you. So the fact that we can't find good spouses in good situations traditionally how it was before, because the dynamic has changed. And now we're looking for what community you're coming from, because it might not be the family, because you might come from a toxic family, but the people you surround yourself with is the biggest mess. See, there was communities. People knew each other. Families knew each other. You knew how they raised their kids. They had a good name. They had a good word. So you could trust who this person is in their family. So when you had a child and they had a child, they should have what we call arranged marriage. It's when there was principles, values, and character. Hopefully, these people could grow up, come together, and make the family stronger, make the community stronger. Well, today and age, community is not where they are. Community is not where they at. We no longer have family reunions like we used to. We no longer even keep in touch like we used to. Society is broken up. We now have people that got divorced. We have people that's getting raised up with co-parenting. There's so many things that happen in our society, in our community, with our neighborhood. It's so broken up. Neighbors don't talk to neighbors. No one is looking out for no one but self, right? So what do? You can't go along with what the world is doing to meet who you're going to be with. So what you got to do is do something that's close to biblical arrangements, which is what we are calling courting. And just like courting, which I explained in my other video with dating, I want you to understand that Joseph and Mary, they was already together. They wasn't married. Do you not know they call it betrothal? This is when two families, two people have made a commitment, and that was the real engagement. It wasn't about will you marry me. The arrangement and meeting up and the continuation that everybody knew this is who you was going to marry was the engagement. What we call official, hey, let's be official. Hey, we're official. Let's go official, where we are publicly or we're going out together. You no longer talking to nobody. I'm no longer talking to nobody. Is what they call betroth, and that in itself was engagement. There was no we date, we now get to know each other, and then we get engaged. No, it was I met you, we hang out, we get to know each other, and when we went official, that was technically engagement. Yep, because you're telling me you choose me. If you don't know if you don't want to be this person, the choice is up before you make it official to a commitment. Betrothing, courting, and engagement is a commitment that we're going to get married. And that's what people don't understand. So what we need to do is understand how relationships are built. Relationships wasn't built on feelings first. It was built on obedience and character and purpose. The reason why we're coming together, to build up a family. It was an alignment decision, and the feelings came later. We are living in a backwards society where we are confronted and confirmed by how we feel. Now, how many times you made a mistake and you thought, I thought it felt so, it felt. No longer about feelings. Now you need to meet and get with people with intention, not about feeling. You know why? Because they both was connected with alignment on faith. They was both connected with alignment with God. They both was connected in alignment with characteristics. And this is honestly, even betrothal was a legal binding arrangement. It wasn't, see, even before they got married, when they got betrothed, that was a legal binding. See, you ain't get in a covenant yet. See, marriage is a covenant, but betrothing, where everybody agreed that y'all are going to get married, and she's involved, you was involved. There is a contract. There is a binding legal term of an event that happens. Not contract like paper, but it is a meaning. It is everybody already agreeing on this union. And you go into this thing called a covenant later, right? So this part of the betrothing is what you might call dating, but it's what you might call courting. But this is them getting to know each other. It was a required commitment before you even live together, being with each other in a covenant. So what do I do with today? Because everybody don't know everybody. Mom and dads are not together no more. People don't get along. Children don't talk to their parents. Daddy wasn't home no more. You got so many different elements. This is why you must take the time to get to know someone and the friendship stage and the get to know you stage, as well as that who is their community. And you know what's crazy is, even people are lonely. People are now not rocking with people like they used to. So some people just go to work, come home, so you can't even get to know people based upon their community because they got like one best friend. They might got a small family. They might have moved and might not go back because they came from a situation that they was traumatized. There's so much society trauma going on. So much brokenness going on. You have to now trust God more than ever because God knows them. And a lot of times people relationship are not so close to God to hear from. And that's the real issue. The real issue is I got to do my best to get to know them. No, your real issue is let me do my best to get close to God because he knows. This is Piece to the Puzzle. And I hope this piece gave you peace time.